This is Fox News reporting, and let me get this straight here. They're reporting that Alex Jones, what else did they put up there? Other names of the media that do tell some of the truth. Uh, I wish I had put it up. I've forgotten now, so maybe I won't even put this up. But they're talking about the media, and some of them are the ones that do tell the truth, talking about Facebook maybe taking them down for a certain amount of days. One of them was Alex Jones. Uh, Although I haven't listened to that much of his videos, and he certainly has never spoken to me that I know, neither has any of them on their programs. And they all know, well, I don't know, I would assume he does. Certainly Clyde Lewis and Coast to Coast knows it. By the way, I want to insert this here. It's my understanding that they did get a report back on the death of Art Bell, who started this whole telling the truth about the government and mind control, except when it gets into really telling the truth about some things, they won't go that far. Let me put it that way. That's where the truth stops. Anyway, Art Bell to me was one of the innovators and a good man. Now then, the lab report about his death a few months ago was not released until a few days ago. That's my understanding. Well, I'm pretty sure of that. I've tried to keep up with it. Any fool or anyone, let me put it that way, that knows anything about Art Bell and what he's talked of and everything, knows it wasn't an accident. Believe me, it wasn't. So it will go unpunished. And you can't bring him back. But they're talking about, and I wish I'd put it up while it was I can't remember what they were saying, but they were talking about fake news and all that. A lot of the fake news they're talking about is simply the truth. I want to ask this question, everybody. I was kidnapped when I was 2 years old, born in 1939, and I'm not putting up anything here. You can tell by this profile video, well, I don't know if you can or not, I think on it, who my father is and what has happened. They took him down. I didn't find out until 1983 when I was in a political campaign to replace a doctor, U.S. congressman I wrote about and tried to get it published and was almost killed April Fool's Day of 80. He was supposed to have gone down in the KAL. It was shot down by a Soviet MiG when it went into their airspace, 10 miles into the airspace. So you get into what I was writing about, mind control, programming. The pilot can be programmed and fly into the ocean or fly into the side of the mountain or etc. But anyway, they took Larry McDonald, the doctor I wrote about, was on that. And maybe I shouldn't even get into all this. I just should make a statement and stop at that. But anyway, Nixon was on that same flight. He was taken off just prior to takeoff. So there's really a question if it was an attempt to make Larry McDonald look like he drowned or really he was taken off the plane too or not even on it. But anyway, they're putting up here that the media is condemning this and that, and I'm not sure how much of that. I thought Fox News was one that told a bit of the truth anyway, but they were really slamming on this just prior to me getting this video. I'd like to ask a question here if they're ever made to answer it. When I was kidnapped, they took my father down. The Illuminati did it, the Freemasons, the Mafia. Then they kidnapped me and brought me over here to Moulton, Alabama, and gave me their name, my identity stolen. And there have been laws so horrific committed against me and my children since I was brought over here and had my children here, obviously. Can't get it into court, hasn't been stopped, it's ongoing. Just like the FBI letter I got, ongoing investigation, national security involved. You tell about it, and it's so horrific what they have done. The United States actually invaded us, helped take down my father, and Winston Churchill was their buddy, and some more in the British government at the time, especially my Uncle George VI and Elizabeth. They knew about my dad's takedown. They helped do it. They helped in my kidnapping. And my mom and dad were still alive in October on the 20th of 86, married to each other. And I wonder about the life they lived, because they stripped my father of his name, his daughter, everything. Access, but I mean, there's some people that helped us. I've met them. And I've already put one up, and he's probably deceased, so I wouldn't hurt him by telling it. I worked at Pizette's department store. It was brand new. I went there when it opened, was there, hired just prior to the opening. And the manager had been I believe he just retired from the U.S. Army, or one of the forces. And he came out right after that. He hired me, and right after then he came out to I worked in the credit department, and he said, I want to introduce you to someone. And he introduced the assistant manager, who was Count von Spiegelfeld. And I've since Googled it. At the time I didn't know what Davenport was saying, which part of it was true, but I know now he was referring to me. He said, I didn't know if you all knew that we had royalty working here in this department. And he introduced von Spiegelfeld. Well, he's related to me. I know this man came over here and tried to help, and there's some others, quite a few. So all my family weren't bad. But the fact so much has been done here and the media has not covered it, I have constantly Xeroxed and I'm kept penniless and homeless. And I have constantly gone to the media and turned it over. They all know about my kidnapping. I mean, the Secretary of States have all known, the presidents. You got Eisenhower and Winston Churchill were so close. He became president. Then you got Truman. Then you got JFK and Nixon. And if this is ever laid out, it's what some of the Watergate tapes that really, some people might find it funny. It's when it's shown or told that it's so hideous what's been done. Nothing prosecuted. I'm 79 years old, and I'm sitting here listening to this media. You got 4 channels. You've got the side media, which, well, I don't mean to say side, but the ones that I've just spoken of that tell a lot of the truth, the only ones, but they fail to mention anything about me and this mess that's involved. And believe me, if you ever find out it's not just me, there's some other people that got hurt in it that's really going to bother you, even though what they've done to me hasn't. So the media is just like Trump said, they don't tell the truth. There's none of them yet to tell the truth, not even the local. And I want to say this in case there's anybody watching this video. When the papers were given to me about Anastasia, she was actually murdered up in Charlottesville. I'm almost afraid to say it anymore, so much it scares you to what's going on. When I was in that campaign to replace the doctor that was supposed to have gone, that I wrote about, the congressman that was supposed to have gone down in the KAL special election in October of '83, Larry Flint, who had been shot by a program shooter, which is, I was writing about mind control and patterns, is how I knew some of them. I had a letter from the FBI June the 23rd of '79, ongoing investigation, national security involved. It was my dad's birthday, June the 23rd, so they're being cryptic and even using patterns themselves. Didn't know it till the other day. I Googled to make sure about the Tesla files. Well, I knew I was sure, but I did it just to check out again. That Tesla files was talking. Oh, everybody should see what was stolen in the Tesla files back in 1930. Supposedly Donald Trump's, well, not supposedly, he was charged with it, but there's a lot more is involved in it, believe me. Illuminati was the ones that, they didn't say that, but they're the ones that I always knew were responsible for taking the files. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm living where people can walk by and hear me, and I've been telling this for a long time, and it gotten me nowhere. I did want to. By the way, I like President Trump. But the media is so controlled. They're controlled by the Illuminati, the mafia that kidnapped me and took down my father. And the Secretary of State, all of them have known. Your presidents have all known. And, well, Jimmy Carter knew. And here, well, I've already told some of this. So I won't be redundant. It's hard to go back and find the videos that I've, where I told certain things. So I'm going to get off, and if this is ever told, your media has been complicit in this whole mess. They should be arrested. They all knew, and all your people in Congress, your House of Representatives, your Senates all knew it. Your State Department, all of them knew about this. And it's been kept quiet. And I've been allowed to put it up on video and Facebook. And now they're talking. Oh, that's what I started to tell a while ago. I saw. Is it YouTube? I think they said YouTube was deleting a part of what, like Alex Jones and some of these people that do tell the truth. And Facebook is run by Mark Zuckerman, who is the Rockefellers, the Illuminati's. Rockefeller, Zuckerman's his nephew or grandson. Now I forgot that. I think it's his grandson. But if you get into it, the Rockefellers, okay, Rockefeller was vice president, had a heart attack. One of them was. Then you had Rockefeller that was governor of West Virginia for years. But he gets into Henry Kissinger. That's on the Watergate tapes, if you ever hear what he was doing, orders he was given on the Watergate tapes. And when I worked for the DA, Fred Simpson, in 1980, Madison County DA, they role-played the Watergate tapes. I could, breaking them and all that, they were subpoenaed for the hearings, Watergate hearings, and that's Nixon and all this. So I could remember then, and right down to the minute, all of it. And I've put it up on here. So your press, my husband went with me when I was doing this book about mind control murders and patterns, and the fact that it was the Tesla files. And none of the media back then would touch it. He went with me. They had the FBI send me a letter, and 2 letters, in fact. And nobody would talk to me. Little did I know. I didn't know my real name. I couldn't remember it until I was told. I did remember some about my kidnapping and being brought over here, and that's been told. Some of the family, well, they covered it up. But one of them actually called me and gave me some things to put up, so thank him for that much. And I guess I'm just going to put this up. I guess people... It's odd. I'm telling something that nobody wants to hear anyway. But the press certainly is so complicit in all this. Their job is to tell the truth, not delete it.